Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
JCF says significant progress has been made into the disappearance of Donaldson. The Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF says significant progress has been made in the investigation into the disappearance of 24-year-old Donaldson. Donaldson was reported missing to the police on Wednesday, July 13, 2022. In the 11 days since the report, investigators have collected a considerable amount of information about her disappearance. The investigative team, which is being led by Superintendent of Police and overseen by the Criminal Investigations Branch CIB headquarters, will this week hold a case review conference with the Director of Public Prosecutions DPP and senior members of her staff. Such a conference is customarily at this stage of probe of this nature. The JCF is once again assuring all concerned parties that the investigation into Donaldson's disappearance is being conducted according to the highest standards. Accused Cocopiece murderer to return to court Friday. The man charged with the murders of Kemisha Wright and her 4 children in Clarendon last month, Rashane Barnett, is set to return to the Home Circuit Court on Friday. Barnett, who allegedly confessed to cutting the throats of the mother and her children, had been ordered to undergo a psychiatric evaluation. It's understood the results of that assessment are due in court this week. Barnett is being represented by attorney at law Tamika Harris. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions DPP is seeking the death penalty in the matter. In the meantime, the 5 individuals are set to be laid to rest this weekend. The setup is scheduled for Friday, while the funeral service will take place on Sunday. Ex-worker arrested over courthouse fire. A former male employee of the St. Catherine Parish Court has been arrested in connection with Sunday's suspected arson at the court's administrative building. Head of the St. Catherine North Police Division, Howard Chambers, says he was held during an operation. He is to face questioning. The police also recovered a quantity of cash during the operation. An investigator told reporters that cops are still searching for the main suspect in the matter. During the investigation of the fire on Sunday, it was revealed that larceny formed a part of the incident. Firefighters and police were alerted to the fire about 7:32 a.m. 2 units from the Spanish Town Fire Department contained the blaze, which was seen coming from the Civil Registry Department, from which most of the desk clerk work. Crime scene detectives cornered off the area after they discovered that a vault had been broken into and an undetermined cash amount was taken. The police believe that the intruder or intruders gained access to the building through a front door, broken into the vault, and then started the fire before escaping. This is the second fire in 2 months at the same location. On June 14, fire of unknown origin destroyed a section of the court's office. PNPYO President blasts government on crime and youth development. President of the People's National Party Youth Organization, PNPYO Gabriel Morris, has accused the government of failing to adequately manage crime and its impact on youths. Speaking during the public session of the organization's National Council meeting at the GC Foster College in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Sunday, Morris charged that more has to be done to put Jamaica on a better path. Morris, who was recently elected, contended that the Andrew Holness-led administration has not done enough to characterize crime. It is a well-known fact that youths are both the perpetrators and the victims of crime. But instead of confronting the issue, we have a government in this country that would rather to pass unconstitutional measures than actually do something that will curb the crime problem in this country, stated Morris to applaud from party supporters. She continued, "Comrades, we are party that care, and we see the challenges that are facing young people across Jamaica. We see that many young people are hopeless. We see that many young people fear for their lives every day. We see that many young people are just worried and are looking for the next way out." Morris called for Jamaicans to give support to families that have been impacted by crime and violence, highlighting the case of Donaldson. A high-level police probe is currently underway into the disappearance of the 24-year-old. "I want to put the Prime Minister and the police on notice. Stop going like no notice people across the country need hope," Morris said in an appeal to the authorities. She urged the government to tackle youth unemployment. A terrible sight. 2 people are dead and more than 14 others injured and hospitalized after a nasty 2-vehicle crash on the Landover Main Road in St. Anne Sunday morning that a motorist on the scene described as a terrible sight. Police report that 38-year-old Kermit Grant from St. Anne and 56-year-old Elizabeth Palmer of Mount Pleasant Runaway Bay in the parish died in the collision between a Toyota Coaster bus and a Toyota Hiace minibus. According to the police, Grant was the driver of the 15-seater Hiace which crashes head-on with a 30-seater coaster about 8:30 a.m. Palmer, the police added, was a passenger in the Hiace which was heading to Old Charles when the crash occurred. It resulted in a traffic snare along the heavy traffic road that links Montego Bay with Old Charles. "It's just bloody and a terrible sight," said one man, who told reporters he was on his way to an event when he came upon the crash site and stopped to help the injured. "There was a traffic build-up. I just had to help to see what I could do to pull some people out of the vehicles," said the man who opted not to be named. The front of the two buses, really slammed into each other. You could see that they were coming at a high speed. Both drivers were trapped behind their steering wheel. "Can't move," he said. "We were pulling out persons from the smaller bus. We were pulling them through the back door. Persons were trapped in either bus with what appeared to be broken limbs and can't move," he added. The man, who is an actor by profession, said he had to be advising other people who were helping to pull people from the vehicles to be cautious, as they were not trained health professionals. He said he was horrified when he saw one of the victims grasping for air. She was placed on the ground by some other person. It was clear that she was grasping for air, so we had to turn her on her side, and then the nurses came and put her on a knapsack under her back, he said. The man appealed to fellow motorists to resist speeding on the roads, especially when it is raining. "There was a steady drizzle from what I was coming and see on the highway down to about Runaway Bay. Our drivers tend to be speeding still, but if we could just exercise a little bit more caution," he pleaded. NWC sanctions against delinquent customers coming. The National Water Commission, NWC, says steps are being taken against customers who continue to have outstanding balances. The NWC says the latest action comes in the form of caveat issues to properties owned by its customers. A caveat is a form of legal notice which prevents further registration of land or property owned by someone until a resolution is met. Corporate Communications Manager at the NWC, Andrew Cannon, says the caveat will remain until the outstanding payments are settled.
Decisive action is now being taken by the National Water Commission to recover outstanding sums owed by delinquent persons. And this time what we're doing, we're lodging caveats against properties. What this means is that certain delinquent customers would not be able to deal with their property, for example, sell it or do any other activity disposing of it, until they have settled their affairs with the NWC. It's important to note that when a caveat is lodged and the registered proprietor attempts to register a dealing, the registrar of title would be required to serve upon the NWC a notice of the said dealing. Through the caveat, the NWC would have secured an interest in the property and proceed to recover that said interest by making the necessary application to have the property sold, and the NWC is empowered to do this under Section 21 of the NWC Act. The lodging of the caveat is therefore just a first step in the company's attempt to reduce outstanding water charges by first securing an interest in the property. Now, we have sent out final warning letters to several customers indicating that caveats will be lodged for failure to comply with the payment request. So those customers who have outstanding balances, make every attempt to honor your payment obligation now, because the NWC will be relentless in its pursuit to collect all outstanding sums that are owed.
NEPA retrieves crocodile near a dam by Seaville Garden residents. A team from the Hope Zoo and the National Environment and Planning Agency NEPA successfully retrieved a large crocodile from possible harm after it was captured by residents of Seaville Gardens in St. Andrew on Sunday. A video making the rounds on social media showed residents hooking and then pulling the reptile, which they later nicknamed Ramdam, from a canal. One man admonished bystanders who were attempting to hit the crocodile with large planks. A comment from the social media account announced that a team from NEPA and Hope Zoo retrieved the reptile, which measures 10.5 feet. The comment to look out for the croc along with the JDF until the team arrived, and it was of great team effort. The committee named him Ramdam, the account added. It is an offense under the Wildlife Protection Act to process, hunt, kill, capture, or willfully molest the animal. NEPA has advised members of the public not to capture or harm the reptile. Individuals found guilty of the offense may be charged a maximum fine of $100,000 or face 1 year imprisonment. Meanwhile, persons can report crocodiles sighted by calling 876-754-7540 or toll-free 888-991-5005. 105 COVID-19 cases, 2 more deaths reported. Jamaica on Sunday recorded 105 new cases of COVID-19 and 2 more virus-related deaths in the last 24 hours. This brings the total number of cases recorded on the island since the start of the pandemic to 145,738 and the death toll to 3,184. Of the newly reported cases, there were 59 females and 46 males, with ages ranging from 1 day to 108 years. The cases are recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 33, St. James 11, St. Anne 1, St. Catherine 15, Westmoreland 5, St. Elizabeth 14, St. Mary 3, Trelawney 3, Clarendon 7, and Manchester 13. Portland, Hanover, and St. Thomas were the only parishes that recorded no new cases. Meanwhile, the latest fatalities are a 98-year-old male from St. James, who died in February 2022, and a 64-year-old male from Kingston and St. Andrew, who died sometime in July. According to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the country also recorded 129 new recoveries, bringing the total number of recoveries to 93,243. The country's positivity rate for the latest batch of testing is 18.9%. There are 1,140 confirmed active cases on the island. Approximately 96 patients are hospitalized. One of them is critically ill.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.